no. Now the record button's disappeared. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. I think we're both recording. Someone's recording.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a recording. A recording is happening here on my side. Is that what happened? That I requested to my cloud. So you don't.
Oh
But
my gosh. We're
okay,
gonna.
should we stop and start again? Should we stop and start again?
I think we're fun. I did this with Laura Eisenhower and JP the other day. It's all good. It's all good. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Hello, everybody. A little technical hitch there. I am Dani Henderson. This is my full disclosure channel, and this is my beautiful friend Chantelle Meyburgh, also known as Chanti, a great healer, brought the most wonderful information to our planet. Chantelle, please introduce yourself, my angel.
Oh, you are so lovely, Daddy. Every time I speak to you, it's like the first time I'm speaking to you. You give me such a beautiful introduction. Well, it's so wonderful to be back here again. You've just been on my channel not too long ago for two roundtables actually, which was amazing. So yes, everybody, I'm Chantal, your hostess for the mostess from Aquarius Rising Africa, where we definitely do some amazing disclosures and yeah, speak to whistleblowers and just educate people as much as what we can to the underbelly of the world. I mean, currently actually speaking to Jamie J, a researcher, she is phenomenal, in terms of the research she's done on MK Ultra. We've done the whole BDSM. We did with Chris Latterar, the BDSM MK Ultra connection. If you guys haven't watched that, that's an amazing because it helps us understand as well. And then with Jamie talking about that as well, we're talking about sibling bullying in the family. Wow, and how that affects us. Circumcision, the original SRA. So these are the topics, and that's with in fact Sean McCann. That's I know we're recording now, but
Yeah.
it's later on this afternoon. So by the time it airs, it will already have done. But Sean McCann, an amazing wealth of knowledge on these topics, because that's really where the original satanic ritual abuse begins. Circumcising our boys. For the likes of Sandra Bullock to put the skin cells on her face, right?
Well,
She's well known for
she admitted
the
that.
celebrity.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way that we can deny that as much as people adore and love Sandra Bullock. She did actually go on the Ellen DeGeneres show and say that she was using a cream that used the foreskin of little boys. And as you said, it is such an abhorrent horror if mothers took a moment to think, which most mothers don't, because we're so programmed to accept that circumcision is good in certain countries. Like you get sand under the foreskin. But when you actually step back and go, are you kidding me? Removing an actual body part, a piece of the body on a little baby innocent boy. Wow, didn't know we were going to
But
talk about.
the trauma that goes along with that, and the mental abuse, because out of the womb into this and slap, 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 and boom, 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 the trauma, and of course, when you look at the man's penis, it's his absolute identity. So when that is, watch it. It's just such a good show. It's
Mhm.
such a good show because we talk about the many different layers of abuse. And we're in this master slave society. No matter who you are, you're a slave. Even if you're a master, you're a slave. We're living in this master slave society. So we're delving into all of these things, along with the BDSM, whether it's BDSM or just by the government, right? Society, hierarchy, racism. Isn't that what the master slave is all about? But really, who is the master and who's the slave? Is the master really the master? He's a slave too, right? So we look at all these topics, and it's super fascinating when we start looking deeper into that. So yeah.
And I always have admired you for many reasons. One of them is the fact that you do really take on such deep, dark subjects, and a lot of people don't have the stomach for it. However, if we are in a position now of really owning and claiming this planet back and changing these hidden systems, we have to look at these things, we have to acknowledge. And I understand more as I've got to know you, why you're able to manage and handle such dreadfully dark, the darkest subjects on the planet, is because who you are on a soul level and the healer that you are. And so we are going to share some beautiful work and a book that you have put out to help humanity. But can you share with us the name of the book and why you wrote it? And then we'll share some pages from it.
Yay, yes. Wow, my latest creation is called The Honeycomb Tales, Adventures of the Ankhara Field, or from the Ankhara Field. And Mornay has done the illustrations, so he's a great blessing. He's super creative and we work well together, so that's great. Um, sure. Where do I begin? This was, this is all my life's work in one little segment of a book that I know I needed to put out. It's been such a journey, and I'm going to be taking through people, on this journey on Solutions with Chanti, the channel, which I'm now kind of relaunching and rebranding as well, with the Ankhara field. So the Ankhara field, basically, well, we can talk, it's the field, right, which is made up of hexagonal, right, shapes, which is the original shape of the creator, hexagonal, which is why when we look at the Cabal right now, everything is the reversed hive mind. They use the hive mind, but in reverse. So when you look at the original way that the bees operate, that's the original way which God has intended. So the bees are the original frequency keepers. So long before the bees manifested, the energy was there, but the bees are the manifestation of that energy, if that makes sense. So they're little cryptids, because by rights, they shouldn't be flying. Their little chubby bodies are way too big for their little wings, actually, if you think about it, but yet they do. So they're little flying frequency resonators. That's what bees do. They're incredible, actually. And then, of course, the Ankh, which, I mean, the Ankh has been my symbol for the longest time. When I was 12 years old, I was looking at one of my mother's books of Egypt, and I remember there was a picture of the Ankh, and I just stared at this picture, and something in me unlocked, all I can say. But then much later on, a few years later, when I was in Namibia, actually, I was meditating. And the next thing in my meditation, I see this crucifix bouncing towards me, and I'm going, that's something I'm used to using. And as it gets here, whoosh, in a flash of gold, the crucifix transforms into the Ankh right in front of my eyes. And I'm going, wow. And in that moment, it was like I remembered. So the crucifix is a symbol of suffering. When we look at Christianity and Christ on the cross, there was no ways Jesus was having fun on that cross. And it wasn't just Jesus on the cross. That was the way that people were punished in those days. It was the normal way, right? So it symbolizes sacrifice, structure, vulnerability, right? Being there, immovable. And you pin there. And when you're looking at astrology as well, the cross is known as a fixed sign. So it's fixed, it's immovable, it's stubborn. Us Aquarians are known as fixed signs. We're stubborn, right? And in that moment, I understood that from the crucifix into the Ankh, it's the resurrection of the human consciousness. The circle represents the head, the mind, the arms, the crossbar, right? The stem, your body, and it's the combination of heaven and earth. The stem is your earth. The stem represents earth in your body. So heaven and earth come together in your heart, crossbar, which your arms represent, which are also connected to the heart chakra. And like the heart, you're either going to hug something towards you or push it away, right? So your arms are directly linked to the heart, actually. So now that you've gotten off the cross, suffered enough, right? Your consciousness resurrects. And now you can start thinking and perceiving the world differently with your third eye. And now your arms get to move, hug and hold, and receive and give, as opposed to take and push away. Now you give and you receive all at the same time, because the heart chakra is the most powerful chakra in the body, right? It's 3.5 times larger than any of the other chakras, or more powerful. So it's by no means weak. Love is by no means weak. So when we understand that, right, we understand we are the Ankh. You, the human being, the head, arms, body, right? You are the Ankh. So that is God's original breath, right? That created the resonance fork, the Ankh, which is you, the perfect geometry in the human being is the Ankh. That is the perfect sacred geometry. And then you work with that in the Ankhara field. So the Ankhara field is the field in which we play. So that's kind of your fifth dimensional awareness. When you've moved off the fourth dimension, you've understood these things, right? You've understood your power. And power is not something you beat someone else over the head with. Power is something that's humbling. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's tenderness. So that's the energy of the Ankhara field, the fifth dimensional. There's no secret code. There's no password. You are the password. Your resonance is the password, which basically means you're sovereign. You are not complying with anyone else's desires for who they think you should be. You're a sovereign soul. You know who you are. Are you perfect and fault-free? Oh, hell no. We have fun screwing up and getting ourselves back into resonance. You see, that's what we do. We rectify resonance. When we've screwed up, you recognize that, you get up and you try again. And that's what the Ankh is, you see. So when you have come off the suffering, you now think differently and you can fly. So your frequency raises like the Ankh. If you look at bees, look at the aerial view of a bee. They're little flying Ankhs. Okay, they're fat little chubby flying Ankhs with the head like in the body and the wings, right? So they are little frequency modulators. You are the Ankh. And when you are angry, frustrated, in pain, lied to, blah, blah, your spiral goes down. You then go into the complete lower rung energies until you rectify your resonance, and then you fly.
Mm-hmm.
You move your wings, you think, you move, you understand heaven and earth coming together. Your body, your heart is where the two meet. Your heart is heaven on earth.
That's
That's
so
what it is.
beautiful. Let's share some of the imagery of this beautiful book. Here we go. This is the cover. The Honeycomb Tales, Adventures from the Ankhara Field, hummed into being by Chantelle Meyburgh. I loved that. And then we'll move down to the first hum. Beautiful, beautiful drawings. Monet, dear Monet. Here we go, acknowledgements. Beverly Rhodes, our beautiful friend Beverly Rhodes. Hello,
Yeah.
Beverly. And there's you. And then Chanti, Frequency Weaver. And here we go. The first hum. So can you take us through what this is?
Well, the first hum is really just explaining what the Ankhara field is. So before, that's what we say, before flowers had fragrance, before bees had wings, before humans had words, there was only a hum. Not a hum you hear with your ears, but a vibration you feel in your bones. So it's a knowing that we are created from our divine creator, with sound and light braided together, rippling through the golden waters of creation, shimmering with the codes of light. So everything was sound, frequency, and vibration. And basically, from that vibration, the Ankhara field was born. So the geometry we work with is, well, first we move from square, which is actually my previous work. So this follows on to from my previous work I was doing. And then you work into the square, you move into the diamond, right? The diamond, then the triangle, up and lower triangle, the six pointed hexagonal pyramid, and of course the arum lily. So those would be, and of course the hexagon and the eye. That's the geometry. And yeah, these are the characters, the bees. We have the Khoisan elder, Boysen, the kangaroo. Boysen was actually a kangaroo in Australia that channeled. There was a big fire in Australia and he was injured. And Joanne Breeze, who I work with, had him in a sanctuary, and that animal channeled the Ankhara grid to me. So he's the reason this book is
Oh my
here, actually.
God. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So, and then of course, it just grew, Dani. It was so fun writing this. You know, I had three storylines going. These little characters came alive in my head. I heard them speak. They were keeping me awake at night.
Oh,
You know, and
wow.
then it was such an amazing, because, you know, with this information here, there's so much information we woven in
Yeah.
to the story. So there's so many layers already within the story, you know. And then, of
Yeah.
course, yes, at the end of each of the chapters, you're going to get your little hum link, your nectar note. Yeah, these are the symbols. These are this is the geometry that we work with, the sacred geometry. And of
So
course, the
good.
arum lily.
It's
Yeah.
so good. I made some notes because it was very difficult to choose, one element of this book without giving the whole book away, of course. This is a story on so many levels for children as well as the inner child in us. This is
Oh,
a book
yeah.
that teaches breath into the sacred body again in a way that we've lost. We lost it.
Absolutely.
So I'll give you some of the notes I wrote. The first time until the anchor appeared, the stewards, the hum link, the diamond door breath, and then you move on to the living bridge, the doorway, the hive seal, the balancer, the hexagonal pyramid, the arum lily, her Venus, Queen Ariella, the animal
Venus.
breath, the
Yeah.
rescue breath, the hum of truth, which I know it's very difficult to pinpoint one particular breath exercise or humming inside the body, which is crucial right now. Can you explain
Mm.
why you're not singing out, but you're humming in? And which breathing hum would you take us into while we have time together?
Oh, I'll definitely take you into the 4 4 4 8 4 breath. That's the hum link. And it's literally because what we first do is you know, you go in and the uncovers above you, which is your gift from heaven and from God, and then it descends into your body, loop around the head, heart, and down the stem. So you are immediately then put into your um, spiritual resonance, which is uniquely you, because you are the key. So that's when, and then with the humming, because we hum and we breathe. Now, humming is so important because anytime you start humming, whether your body is in depression, whether you are in physical pain, whether you are in mental stress or any trauma, if you give yourself 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, and you just sit and you hum, nothing Static can stay in a body that vibrates.
Mm.
So I've worked also, and that's what I'm doing now with the adults, because the whole SOULutions channel is introducing the Ankhara field to the adults as well. So it's the adults and kids that have the same stuff going. So parents and kids becomes a family thing, right? And understanding the breath and how to hum. And, just in the hexagonal space, because that is the original sacred geometry from our creator. So that's why it's such a big thing for the Cabal. So what we're doing in this is how we're flipping the script, Dani. We don't, I've never, I got to tell you, and I've been under so much spiritual attack on this channel over the years. I mean, I said at my 5th anniversary, after 10 years, I'll write a book, What Happened Behind the Scenes of Error. then I'll spill the tea. But for me, it was, every time they would come for me, and in a big way, I would literally just use every bit of knowledge that I have and never retaliate, but literally understand there's a reason that they can attack me, because something in me is not in resonance. If I'm attracting that, boom, something in me needs to be repatterned, right? So I did that all the time. And it was amazing until I reached this place. When I say this place, it's the understanding completely that I do have now. So when we talk about putting faith over fear, it's not about, people say that, yet every second person carries a gun. Is that faith over fear? Don't be ridiculous. You're meeting violence with violence. You're part of the problem. Faith over fear really means you are so aligned with your creator, with your higher self, with God, source, whatever you choose to call it, that you know that should anything happen, or you are in the right place at the right time. That if it's like they came for my sister once, the guy had a gun and he held a gun at her head, pulled the trigger, it jammed. She had a mirror in her hand. And she took him and she whacked him with that mirror. That poor man, I don't know if he's even alive today, but that's what I'm saying. So he actually is. I mean, it's just a figure of speech, by the way, he is alive. But that's what I'm saying. You are protected in a way that you can't explain. It doesn't mean you get off scot-free, but it does mean that you've done the right spiritual work to get you to the place where you understand these things. That long before the hit squad has ever reached my house, they've had 4 flat tires and I don't even know about it. Do you know what I mean? That kind of stuff occurs. But it is such faith. And it's like proving to yourself over and over again that you have the faith and not the fear. I've had my partner killed in a hijacking. Because of that, I had a 38 special at the time. We just got it, and he was killed with a 38 special. So what did I do? I gave it to the cops. I said, I refuse to carry this gun. I must be one of the few South Africans that does not carry a gun and sleeps with my doors open. And I'm not stupid. I'm aware that obviously you've got to be aware of your environment for sure. But I have a knowing in me that I'm here for a purpose. I've understood what I'm here to do, maybe not everything. And it's not to retaliate with violence, because we got to understand these guys their technology is like 6 billion light years ahead of what they've taught us. So to try and retaliate with the cabal, with spiritual warfare, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And then they try and do all sorts of exorcisms, and it's why it doesn't work. I'm sorry, it works to a point, and then thereafter it doesn't. It's a vibrational thing. So when you've understood the love you hold in your heart is that much more powerful than anything else that comes your way, you flash those things the bird easily. And it's like, you know, when you're a little girl and you're standing behind your father's legs, you know, and you know the other kids can't get you. Now, I had a wonderful father. He was 6'6", known as a gentle giant, and he was absolutely my hero, for sure. And I feel like that. I had the biggest father, and he was the most handsome guy, and that was that. No one else could compete with that. That was my father. Sorry, girls, all your little chubby short fathers. And he was a tennis champion. So you're going to have to come a far way to beat my dad. You know what I mean?
My dad's better than your dad.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, that's how I feel now. And it's like, I really do. I'm not arrogant about it, but I have a great confidence that, I don't know, we're good. And that, you know, when this information comes to me, because it's like with the kids as well, I've also done a whole lot of kids' work before. It was amazing, the Sun Kids stuff. This was the first storybook I've written. So it's kind of like taking that stuff into storybook form, where we have the bees and the birds and everyone, you know, we're flipping the high. That's what we're doing. The Ankhara field is literally flipping the dark nests, which is the Cabal's area, if you want to call it that. The hornets and the killer bees.
Yeah. Share with us the exercise. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, okay, cool. So what I want us to do is just maybe for a moment, if you want to close your eyes, and you can just imagine yourself sitting either where you are, or if you get the picture, you're sitting in a hexagonal shape. You're in the center of your hexagon throne. And now you can imagine above you is a beautiful ankh, and it's dripping like golden honey just above you. And take a nice deep inhale. And as you inhale, for 4, become aware that the ankh descends through your crown all the way down. Now you're going to hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And on the exhale, you're going to hum for 8. And you rest in your breath for 4. And then you repeat. Let's repeat. We can actually do this 3 times. So inhale now. For 4 is the loops around your head as you breathe in the loop. And now as you hold for 4, just feel that beautiful energy. Just fill every cell of your body. And we're going to exhale on the hum for 8. Hold for 4. You rest in your breath. And now just gently breathe normally. So what we do with that is we just remind the body that your consciousness is from God. And the stem takes it down in the exhale, or you don't have to hum, you can just exhale as well, just into your body. And of course the heart, from the heart, and just spreads into the arms, which then become your wings, right? And that's how you start retuning and repatterning the energy of your body. So start with that, 4 rounds. And I suggest if you do 4 rounds of those 4 times a day, you're good. And you can never over hum. You can hum, 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 hum.
Yeah.
You can never hum too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And, you know, anyone that just takes a moment to literally Mm, hum inside the body. It breaks down everything. It creates
Exactly.
and it's just such a beautiful free moment. I had my friend Andrea Falks on yesterday, and she's somebody I really trust with the purity of light language. I'm not a big fan, but we don't have to be a fan of everything, nor do we need to condemn other people's roots to self, to resonance, to spirituality. But I always defend
Exactly.
her when others are unhappy with light language, and it's something that I don't use per se. But I trust Andrea, and she's coming from a pure, loving place and has done, again, like you, decades of inner work on herself and now helps other people like you do. And the whole sound, light, frequency has never been more important for everyone to grasp and hear. And bringing your work to the fore, and you just releasing this brand new book, so beautiful. There are going to be a whole massive group of souls who can relate and connect to the hum inside the body,
Mm,
and for people to teach their children. If you
right.
have anxiety, you're heightened, you're anxious, you're
Absolutely.
fearful. Mm,
That's all it is.
exactly,
It's
it's
all
so
it
beautiful.
is. And it's, and the beautiful thing, Dani, is as you start doing it, your body starts talking back to you. It starts opening up. The cells start opening up and it starts revealing things to you. Because every little cell in your body, and you have around 30 trillion, right, is a little portal, actually. It's a universe. It's a universe into you. You've lived many lives before. If we think this is the one and only existence we've ever lived, think again, you know.
Yeah.
So the body is the most precious gem you'll ever possess because it's the manifestation of your spirit. Your body is your spirit in physical form, which is why you have so many cells. And um, one cell contains enough information to write 1,000 books of 600 pages each. One cell. So we completely bypass that intelligence within ourselves when we get caught up in this nonsense that we're getting caught up with nowadays. Um, the technology, the disconnect. Again, this is why the powers that be want to dumb us down because they completely understand our potential. They know who we are. It's like what we're saying. The Ankh, you are the Ankh. That is God's perfect geometry. That is God's perfect geometry, which is us humans. And which is why you can see why us humans are actually under so much siege. And
Mm-hmm.
you also know the Ankh is used in Egypt, but the Ankh did not originate from Egypt, I don't believe. According to Credo Mutwe, the Ankh comes from sub-Saharan Africa, which I believe, but was immortalized by the Egyptians, and therefore it's a very powerful symbol. They know how to use it, and in the ancient times, only very few people were allowed to use the Ankh because it's so powerful as a symbol, right? They've obviously know that, and they have flipped that, and they are draining energy with the Ankh. They use that technology and they drain you as well. And you'll see there's little stories in there about the stolen Ankh and stuff like that. And when we get ourselves back into resonance by humming, singing, being joyful, um, enjoying life, we are not here just to have a crap life on earth and then be in heaven in the afterlife. What the hell good is that?
What was the point? Exactly, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Just the
like,
point
I don't,
on the ankh itself, the image. I mean, we are taught, from the Egyptian perspective, ancient Egypt perspective, that the ankh is the key of life, the
yeah, it
key
is.
life. Yeah, it's just beautiful. So even if I know it's misrepresented as originating in Egypt, which of course it didn't, it might takes a little bit more discovery. And it's so obvious there was so
Yeah,
much more history before Egypt, just like there was so much more connection to spirituality before Jesus, Christianity, whatever you want to say. Um, that
exactly.
yeah, so in terms of other thinking, the cross, for example, can be folded down into a tube, into a cube, I'm sorry, into a square. But
Okay.
regardless, yeah, again, if you, whatever angle you angulate, you're going to be seeing some kind of holographic geometric pattern. And again, beyond that, we're told that that geometry is the building blocks of matter. When these physical or these images or these shapes of light, whatever frequency comes into a sequence and solidifies and slows down,
Yes,
the density, we become
absolutely.
these. Yeah, so I just think that what you've done is absolutely miraculous and beautiful, and another layer of healing and understanding these bodies, healing, being our own healers, obviously being mindful that some people need alternative help outside of the alternative ways that we can heal this body. We're not advocating for people just to do this. Well, we don't even need to say that at this point. If we still have to run those careful little things alongside it, it's just like, I'm so bored with it, aren't you? Just yeah, bye bye. Like, they won't,
Yeah,
people that need all that, they're not going to be watching this. But yeah, they're having,
exactly.
would you
It's
like to?
amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm so grateful to you and grateful to know you, grateful for your friendship, grateful for your work, and so grateful for this great book. Would and Christmas is coming up, so really highly invite people to buy it. It's so easy to read.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, seriously, it is. Would you like to leave us with another exercise, breathing exercise, humming exercise that we could do?
I think that that's the only one I've put in this book for now. So you can either do the 4484 like we did now, or if you want to just slow it down, you can do 3363. So breathe for 3, hold for 3, exhale for 6, hold for 3, inhale. So it's that circular. That's the only one I've put in here now. But honestly, keep doing that, and it's going to work miracles. And I want to highly recommend you guys play beehive sounds. If you are under DW attack or any of, play beehive sounds. Just play beehive sounds. Let your whole house. Just do it, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, just do it. See what happens. Because that's the original God's frequency that is now gonna upturn all these shitty frequencies. That's why they don't want the bees.
What does it resonate at? Is there a measurement? Like love is 528, and do you know if they've met?
No,
It's
I
probably
must actually
different
check.
too.
I must actually check. You mean the bee sounds?
Yeah, the resonance. Like we know that this
Someone
love resonates at 528, and
they
there's
said to me something about C. Someone said C, whatever on the piano, whatever that is. I'm not a musical person,
a
but the beehive is C, whatever that is.
scale of
But no,
C.
yeah, scale of C, yeah. But I will actually check. I will actually check. That's actually these signs.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
and then
amazing.
it is, and then you have to check, like, where does the information come from? I mean, we're told if we put in, the oh, what are they called? The beats, the different beats. We have to be careful that so much of it is infiltrated. So much of the
Yes,
tones are infiltrated. We're told, oh, you're listening to a 369 Tesla frequency, a 528, a 432. I started watching something today, and this guy was saying, this is the resonance. And the way it came, I was like, oh, it was so discordant. And I'm like, you know what? I know your intentions are pure and beautiful, sir, but what I'm receiving isn't, the body is not
yeah,
liking this, And that's another reason why what you've done is gifting back the memory that we hum this
yes,
vessel into alignment,
exactly.
resonance, and frequency, and it's free
That's all.
instant.
If I say to you guys, your bodies are designed to heal themselves, believe that. Your body is designed to heal itself. Energy can never be created or destroyed, only ever transferred or transformed.
Mm.
So whatever has been done can be undone, but you need to do it in coherence and you need to have the intention to repattern because there's a reason why you got out of alignment to begin with. So you have to go and check where you went wrong, what you need to fix, what you need to sort out, what you need to face. Every time you face a demon, you get stronger, you get more clear, you get more understanding, you grow. This is all about growth of spirit. This is all about spiritual fitness, literally. So when we realize these things, and we're not here to be violent. I don't care what it is. Hey, on a bad day, trust me, you don't want to hear what comes out of this mouth. but but I'm talking about like all the time, okay? That you
Yeah.
don't need, this thing, I mean, sure. Spiritual warfare is such a tricky thing, it's such a tricky word because I understand there are so many good intentions out there, Dani, when it comes to this. But really, the only thing that is going to help is when you come into resonance and you raise your vibration out of that. You literally, it's like a helicopter lifting out of the swamp.
Mm.
That's what starts happening.
You
You
know,
lift.
yeah, I do want to use one human being who I love dearly, who I sit in her presence, and I feel like I'm sitting with the closest thing to an angel frequency, which I have felt many times on this planet, and that's Kathy O'Brien.
Mm,
And you talk about holding that faith, love, energy. She was at my last conference a couple of weeks ago, or where are we? I forget what date we're in now. By the time this goes out, well, I think we'll still be in November. I will be back from Thailand by then. And Kathy O'Brien spoke at my conference in Charlotte, Galactic Spiritual Informers. And I made sure she was on the same floor as me in the hotel because, she's one of my dearest, my closest, and I'm very protective of her. And she would just hop and skip along, knock on the door. She doesn't need security, no bodyguards for her. And if anyone was a target at that entire event, it's going to be Kathy, who's exposed the governments, the names. That monster Dick Cheney finally died. And although people might go, "Oh, dude, you want to hear what that monstrous pedo did to my friend and your friend too? She's your friend too." You wouldn't
yeah.
care, and the things will come out. Of course, now he's dead, the old fart's dead, and now it's going to go, oh no, Dick Cheney was so evil. Oh, where have you been the last 50 years? But the point being, again, that she's exposed and told names, and you would think that's one person that would be a target, yet whatever it is, the power in her, which is the same as what you're doing with your humming, the resonance is so high, and you feel it when you're with her, and there's nothing
Mm.
like it. And this is a gift all humans can have, adapt and create, within them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It really is. We have been disempowered from when we enter this planet. We have totally, our power gets taken away. I mean, just look at the whole birthing process for the average baby, and the trauma that we're put through in our hospitals and all of that, and what babies are put through, as we were speaking about earlier on. So, when our babies and when our kids come into this world, it's so important that we as the parents can provide that safe space for them. So, to provide that space where they know their parents are in resonance, they know they're not going to get hauled off and being given 50 vaccines before they go to school. They know their parents have trust in the divine, which
You
is
froze.
frozen, yeah, not moving. So they know that they're given the tools to empower themselves. They are given those tools. And that's what I do with my other work, with the Sun Kids work, working with energy, transforming energy, understanding how energy works, understanding what you put out is what you get back. Not as direct as that, it's layered. But you've got to understand the layers to see how it all works in such a multifaceted way. And kids get the stuff, man. You must see the kids I've worked with over the years. They are just phenomenal. So when the parents are open-minded enough to create that pathway for the kids, but there is a danger in having the kids become little shitty little brats. You that is not cool.
Not
A
cool.
child needs to be disciplined and guided
Guided.
and absolutely disciplined for sure, not violently, but and given lots of resources. The parents need to be resourceful. So we as parents need to prepare ourselves with our resources so that we can be that safe space for the kids to come. And they can feel like, seriously, that's how I felt with my father. Like, I mean, I didn't have problems. My father was in it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful feeling for a child to have.
Yes, it
It
is.
is a beautiful, beautiful feeling for a
Yeah.
child to know they are safe.
Yeah,
They
it is.
it really, really, really is.
Yeah.
And and for parents to teach their children how to feel safe in their own bodies, and for parents to teach children the power of understanding how energy works. Because just with thoughts and feelings, you can change your outcome in life. Choosing your thoughts, choosing your feelings, choosing your actions more concisely is going to be what is our success in life.
Totally. Beautiful.
And we teach our kids that.
Now, are you still taking clients, private clients, adults and children into
Mm,
practice? Yeah?
yes,
Okay.
I do.
Would you like to give us details? Of course, I'll put them under the broadcast, but some
Yeah.
people never look. Would you like to just say how people can connect to you?
Yes, my website is Chantelle Meyburgh, www, as my name is spelled all smalls, .co.za, COZA for South Africa. Email is Chantelle Meyburgh, or one word at gmail.com. And yeah, you can chat with me. On my website is pretty much what I do. But if there's any, I work with kids, I work with schools, I work with teachers. Yeah, parents, animals. I'm an animal communicator. So I just like living life on this planet for sure.
You have so many gifts and so many skills. And I recommend everyone that watches this to go across to your channel. You know, I'm always supporting your channel. We're doing hosting
Oh
together.
no.
Where you and I are so, we're so like deeply, keenly dedicated to humanity, to the healing, to revealing all the secrets, to giving the solutions, to bringing everyone together, that we believe that in sharing our channels and sharing each other's guests with each other, we're then helping double, 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 you know, the information that you and I from love are trying to get out. And
Exactly.
I'm always saying to people, go over and subscribe to Shanti's channel. They need to subscribe to mine too, because again, every day I'm losing hundreds of the more that we put out. Although there is a shift, you know. The last 2 days, three friends of mine, Laura Eisenhower, Mark Atwood, and David Icke, all connected to the channel, speaking at conferences of mine, whatever, you know, in connection with right now. All three of those beautiful people have got their channels back. And so something is shifting. Again, like I said earlier to you off camera, we have to be careful still that we don't get overexcited and go, "Ooh, is that the white hats? Is it this?" Be careful because we could still be being guided down a path that is not of the light, let's say, right? And it all looks
Mhm.
good and we're all getting a little bit, you know, a few sweeties back. But is it the reality? So we still have to be mindful and watching and focusing
Totally.
on that healing, right? But yeah,
Absolutely.
something's changing, something's shifting, and it feels beautiful right now. But everybody needs to be focused on their healing, and I could not say that more. And Chantelle Meyburgh, you've definitely given us a key to life to help all of us heal. And I thank you so much.
Dani, thank you. And you, I mean, honestly, I have absolutely very similar sentiments for you. I think it's amazing what you're doing. You're also a tireless warrior. I watch you often and definitely love seeing your guests and what you're putting out there. And again, just you go way and beyond the call of duty to for your viewers and your guests, and your heart is in it, and it's obvious and it's beautiful.
Mm.
So I see that, and I want to just say thank you for
Ah,
that.
thanks for saying that. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to accept it. I received that. Thank you so much. And it's time I did. Always making a joke and pushing it off and pushing it out. And actually, I need to feed myself a little bit, source myself a little bit, especially at the moment. So thank you so much, Shanti. And I look forward to having you back. And for the beautiful audience watching, to engage with you, engage with me, and engage with themselves, number one, and get on with their healing and their own blessing. Because when we're all strong and healthy and doing the work, then we can reach out, reach a
Mm.
hand out and help others. No, none of us came here to sacrifice ourselves or waste ourselves on people that A, aren't even interested or even aware of what it takes. So go here first and then lean out and lean in to the beautiful humanity that we all
Exactly.
are. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Dani, so much.
Thank you, my love.
Appreciate you very, very much.
And I appreciate you very
And
much.
listen, we are doing, and I think Dani and I are going to be doing more regular shows together.
Yes.
So we definitely going to be doing either bi-weekly or monthly. We're going to let you
Yeah.
guys know. We're going to see how we can figure it out. But it's so nice that because I just think to bring our channels, all the information together, and then definitely want to do a follow up with a roundtable we had with those beautiful women the other day.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
So we look forward to doing that maybe in a month or two.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
how,
Definitely.
always nice to
Yeah,
check
which
that
is Kathy
progression.
O'Brien, Dr. Julia Engel, Beverly Rhodes, and we need to get Max Lowen on as well, who's exposing the
Yes.
Mexican. I mean, all these really strong women and men, of course, we know equally beautiful, strong men that we work with. And I think it'd be nice to invite the audience. Actually, if you would like to, in the comments section only, share projects, subjects, conversations, things that you want more information on that potentially Shanti and I can help you with, or at least to gift our own insights into certain areas. We'd be happy to do that, wouldn't we, Shanti?
Absolutely. And you know what's so wonderful is Beverly and I are going to be chatting about these amazing things over on SOULutions. And there will be a great place for you to come and hang out with us as well. Because what is wonderful is that, Beverly is a very gifted psychic healer as well. And the Kabbalah has used that they've stolen our kids' gifts and weaponized that against us and themselves and the entire humanity. So we are literally, as well as we are reclaiming our symbols, we're reclaiming our gifts. There's nothing evil about being a remote viewer or a medium or a whatever.
Of course, yeah.
Nothing. So what we have to learn is that we've been taught that to have these gifts is bad. That's been the conditioning on this planet for the longest time. No, it's not. It's what you do with the gifts that makes it good or bad. So through these things, we're going to be looking at remote viewing, spiritual, and we're going to be doing series looking at like crime and psychic, using our psychic eyes to look at crime series and stuff like that. Fun stuff. So you're going to come join us over there, Dad, as well. We're just giving you a little bit of a snippet here.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And
Mm,
SOULutions is your second
yes.
channel. So you have this one.
SOULutions with Chanti, yes.
Yes, so Soul, SOUL, SOULutions, which is great. Also, the name of Kathy O'Brien's new book too. All right, my love.
Yeah,
Well,
resolutions.
yeah, resolutions, SOULutions. Yeah, I love it. So, my darling Chantelle Meyburgh, Shanti, I will speak to you soon. Thank you again for your time today and your beautiful book. And to the beautiful audience, mwah, much love to you from my heart to yours. And we will see you soon. Thank you, Shanti.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dani, and thank you, everybody.